welcome to Hawick High News in November 2015 with me, Michael Morpurgo.
And me, Daniel Franklin. Coming up on this month's episode, popular book author Michael Morpurgo visited Hawick High School last month to talk to P7s and S1s about his writing experience.
Welcome to Hawick High News.
Hawick High News speaks to the new head team in charge for the school year ahead. The partnership between the Hawick News and Hawick High News has begun with articles written by pupils appearing for the first time in print in the town's local paper. S1 pupils embark on the Keys project launched by English teacher Mr King. A new anti-bullying project has been set up and Hawick High News has got all the information about it. And of course, Jack Chilly has all the latest sports news from Hawick High School.
Hello. Famous children's book author Michael Morpurgo recently visited Hawick High School to speak to S1 and Primary 7 pupils and told them about his writing experience.
The renowned author has written over 100 different books, including picture book and adult novels, and has received many awards for his works.
Vomantis has more on Michael's visit.
Michael Morpurgo, a world-renowned author, recently visited Hawick High School to talk to pupils about his life as an author and to promote the hundreds of books he has written throughout his career. Michael Morpurgo is 72 and started his career as a writer 42 years ago. Here he is now reading his new novel, Listen to the Moon, and an exciting story that is a story of love and loss, of family and community fractured by war, of the power of hope, and most of all, above all, the will of the human spirit to survive.
I'm about to write a story now about a refugee from Syria. So I'm about to travel to one of the places that they have ended up in Europe, to talk to them, to find out. The more you find out before you start, the better, and that takes time.
Afterwards, pupils and teachers got to meet Michael Morpurgo in person and buy some of his latest books for their own personal reading. This is Vilmontas Norica, reporting for Hawick High News. Thank you for listening.
Now for some news in brief, and it was Remembrance Sunday at the weekend, and Hawick High School's head boy Fraser Towers and head girl Katie Templeman attended an event at the War Memorial and laid a wreath there on behalf of the school. The pair joined many other townspeople to pay their respects to those who fought during the war and later conflicts.
S4 parents are invited to attend Parents' Evening on Thursday the 26th of November, and S5 and 6 parents are also invited to attend their Parents' Evening, which will take place on Wednesday the 2nd of December.
There will be a Pupil Council meeting on Wednesday the 18th of November at the following times. Period 1 for S1 to 3 pupils and Period 2 for S4 to 6 pupils. Both these meetings will take place in M13.
And the Borders College class on Tuesdays periods 6 and 7 are preparing hampers to issue to older people within the town for Christmas. Please hand any nominations or goods for the hampers in at the guidance office. Now at the end of last month we received a very nice message from an English tourist who visited the town. He described how he was in the local branch of Subway when a group of 10 to 15 high school students walked in.
His message went on to say how polite and talkative the students were. We posted the full message to our Facebook page and there has been an enormous response from members of the community. So far, the post has had over 800 likes, 69 shares, and has reached more than 34,000 people. To the students involved, we would just like to say a huge well done.
Now every year in Hawick High School, a new head team is elected for the school year ahead.
Here is Ross and Aoife, who had a chat with the Hawick High School's new team.
The head team of Hawick High School were elected recently after a very close ballot which involved members of staff as well as senior students voting for who they think would best fit the role. Myself and Aoife interviewed head boy Fraser Towers, Katie Templeman, head girl Tom Elliott Walker, Deputy Head Boy, and Cassie Murdoch, who was elected as Deputy Head Girl. How did you feel when you were told the news?
Pretty happy.
Yeah, we were in Mr. McClory's office when and Mr. Beaton made the announcement of what the results of the votes were, and yeah, it was a bit of a surprise actually. It was really good news. I was quite happy.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think this will affect how you behave?
Yeah, well, I think it puts a little bit more pressure on what we do, because we have to be model students. But really, I don't think I don't see it as a problem.
What are a few of the downsides of being more important?
Well, I mean, we're all quite busy. I mean, on top of all our schoolwork, we've got like the meetings and things, so it does add a little bit extra work.
What are you planning on doing when you leave school?
We'll just go along with the line.
Yeah, it should go on.
Yeah, but I'd like to go to university. I think St Andrews looks really nice, to go and study economics. I think that would be a really useful degree to do, and then I'd like to move down to London because I think that would be a really interesting place to live.
Yeah, I'd want to go to university as well, hopefully to do Russian and German, because I really like languages and I'd like to travel.
Are you friendly with your predecessors?
Well, yeah, I mean, at the prize giving, when we got presented with our badges, we spoke with last year's head team in the canteen, and they were really friendly. They were good at giving us advice about what to expect, and they all said they really enjoyed their year and made us look forward to being in the position.
This has been Russ and Aoife reporting for Hawick High News.
You're watching Hawick High News, and still to come.
We have all the information on the newly launched Keys project.
Hawick High News speaks to Mr. Forrester about the new anti-bullying campaign.
And we have Hawick High's latest sports news with Jack Jelly. But first, Hawick High News have long been known as an online news service, but we have now expanded into print.
Hawick High News has now been given a full page in the local Hawick News and will feature in the paper once per month. This was our first publication, which featured in the Hawick News on Friday the 30th of October.
Mr. King has been working on a news project called The Keys. S1 pupils and their teachers have been introduced to the initiative first, and the group hope to introduce it to the rest of the school soon.
Lana and Sophie spoke to Mr. King to find out what this project is all about.
The Keys project is, we've got 5 keys within the school, and they are communication, teamwork, creativity, problem solving and analysis, and evaluation. There's a consultation process carried out, and the views of parents, of staff and of local employers were sought, and they looked for 5 key skills that they felt were very important to them. So as a school, we're looking to develop those key skills in our first year. We're looking to develop them in the broad general education, and then later on in senior phase. The keys will help you in the future because, as we said earlier on, we've got key skills for life, for learning and for work. So they'll help you in school because you might have a lot of kind of collaborative group projects to work on, and your communication and teamwork skills will help you out there. If you go to university as well, and even in the workplace, we're always working together on group projects as well. And you want to be as creative as possible, possibly in art and in English when making something.
Being bullied can damage both a young person's physical and mental health. Good mental health and well-being is critical to good learning, and Hawick High School is working towards having the status of a mentally flourishing school.
The school is planning to present students with a new anti-bullying app called Toot Toot. It will allow pupils to anonymously explain their problems to a teacher without the fear of being identified and perhaps making the matter worse.
Alex and Andrea have been speaking to Mr. Forrester about this new app.
Do you think that bullying is a major problem in Hawick High School?
I think that bullying is a major problem in every school. It's also a problem in the wider sense in communities, and it can take place in sports clubs, it can take place in families, and it can take place in the workplace. But that means that we have to tackle it, and we need to tackle it head on at the high school so that people have the confidence to deal with bullying and have the strength and the skills to be resilient, but also to know that there's clear channels that we can go through to get help.
When will Toot be available to the pupils?
Toot Toot is basically live now. The pastoral team have been testing it out using some live data, and during the anti-bullying week, which starts on Monday the 16th, there'll be a rollout through PSD, through personal support, using computer suites where every pupil will be given their individual Toot Toot account with a login, a generic login, which they will then change, and that means that they then have access to the app at any point from there on. So it will be a gradual rollout over a few weeks starting next week.
How are you going to make sure the posts are genuine and not just the pupils playing out their own trivial arguments through the app?
It's a good question. The simple answer is that we will know who the reports have come from. It doesn't mean that the person who has reported it will be in any trouble for doing so, but it means that we are able to track down whoever has shown a concern, whether it's about themselves or about others, to make sure that we're following that up and they're happy with the way it's been responded to. It means that we can respond online, so we don't actually have to meet up with the person, take them out of class, that kind of thing, if that's what they would rather avoid.
Do you believe that the app will be accessible to everyone in the school?
Yes, it's an internet-based app. All it needs is a live internet connection, and if someone doesn't have the internet at home, or they don't have a smartphone or a tablet that they can access at home, then they'll be able to use iPads in school, they'll be able to use library computers, they could use any computer basically that's able to take a Google search, and they just need to put in Toot Toot and then put their login details, and that's then able to report the incident.
And now it's time for this week's first year rugby results with Jack Challey.
Hello, I'm Jack Challey, here with this week's first year rugby results from Hawick High School. The first year rugby squad managed to overcome a spirited side from Selkirk High School in the rain and mud by 6 tries to 3, 21 to 12. On Friday afternoon, tries were scored by Stephen Cook, Marcus Brogan, Sam Scott and Corey Tate. 5 of these tries were converted by Cian Riddle. All 25 players in attendance had a good run out against Selkirk. The forwards dominated in most of the game and produced excellent pick and drives from the likes of Harry Scott, Zach Cochrane, Sam Scott, Justin Tate, Marcus Brogan, Robbie Stewart, Stephen Cook and Corey Tate. Tom Huggin had an excellent game for his first outing at inside centre, whilst Clark Graham was tower of strength at fullback and carried the ball very well to earn himself this week's man of the match.
Well, that's it for this month's episode of Hawick High News. Make sure to check us out on all our various social media pages for the latest updates, and remember to look out for us in the Hawick News at the end of November.
But from all the news team, thanks for watching, and next month when we will have our special Christmas video as well as our usual monthly episode. See you next month.